Good day. My name is Louise Hay. I am the natural biological grandmother of Sabrina Marie. I am here to tell you the story of the day of her abduction by the Child Protection Agency, hereinafter known as CPS. I am telling you this story because if you have infants or children, you too are at a high risk of this happening to you. I certainly hope it doesn't, but you need to be aware of the fact that such things do happen, and right here at home in Arlington County. On the day of Sabrina's abduction, we had very little notice that it was to happen, although we knew that we were in the disfavor of CPS, as we had always been since her birth. The day she was abducted was a beautiful April day, such as it is now. It was April 25th, 2005, I believe, because she is now 5 years old. The first we knew of its impending occurrence was by a phone call from my daughter Nancy's lawyer, who told her that this was going to happen soon. I heard Nancy sobbing on the phone, saying, "But I thought you were going to help us." The lawyer told my daughter not to resist, and also she sent that message to my son-in-law, who was at the front door, even at the time, leading the police into the house. There were quite a bevy of them. 3 entered the house. I don't know how many were waiting outside. When I first heard of this, I ran and grabbed my coat and said, "If they're going to take Sabrina, I'm going too." Well, of course, they wouldn't allow me to do anything like that. So in they came, 3 of them. I barely got a glimpse of the third. They were all armed. And so I dashed to the baby's bassinet, because this lawyer was not my lawyer. She was my daughter's and son-in-law's lawyer, and she had already made it clear to me that she would offer me no legal advice because I was not her client. So therefore, in my mind, because I was not her client, I did not have to abide by her edicts. So I planned to resist. I stood defiantly in front of my granddaughter's bassinet, and when the police came near me, I said, "Don't you dare touch that baby." Well, the first policeman took me by the arms and pushed me to the opposite side of the room, pinning down my arms in such a way that I was immobile and could not get near the baby. The second policeman stood between me and the bassinet so that I could not see what was going on. And the third one, whom I did not see, and they planned it that way, I heard later was a woman. I did not see her, so I cannot say. So she snatched the baby, and before I knew it, Sabrina was gone. She had been lying in a beautiful bassinet given to my daughter by a friendly co-worker. Unfortunately, that bassinet did not arrive when Sabrina first came home from the hospital, and so my son-in-law and I were compelled to find a place to put her. So the 2 of us fashioned an open weave file folder holder made of plastic, and my son-in-law put in it a piece of foam rubber, thick foam rubber, which was naturally yellow. We were later accused of the fact that that was baby urine, but it was not. It was the natural color of the foam. We quilted it with soft material, and Kit, my son-in-law, even elevated the head of it a little so that Sabrina's head would be a little higher than the rest of her. We considered that a satisfactory spot for her. As I recall, my daughter had little or nothing to do with it. She was busy tending to the baby whom she was breastfeeding. So this was one of the issues used against us. Perhaps we should have used a bureau drawer. It was more traditional. At any rate, she was in this maybe 3 days and 3 nights before the long-awaited bassinet arrived. And in it, she looked like a character in a Danielle Steele novel. She was all fluff and ruffles and frills, and actually I think she was as comfortable, if not more so, in what was later termed by the CPS the crate, because they had a way of finding the most denigrating titles for things. The word crate conjured in my mind the huge wooden slatted crates that used to be used to ship lobsters in. At any rate, we were forced to carry that to every court appearance we went to, dragging it around like the chain from Marley's Ghost. And it was incriminating to us for thereafter. That was one of the reasons that Sabrina was taken from us. The other reason was that she lost some of her baby weight after she was born, which is quite normal. Sabrina lost less than 10% of her birth weight, which is quite normal. Her mother had done the same thing. Nancy took her to the pediatrician very often, sometimes every day, but at the least every other day. Her pediatrician had been in practice for only 10 months and still was sort of on the intern stage and was very much under the advice and supervision of his superior in the practice. He indicated there was no particular problem with her weight loss, as it was normal in newborns. However, one day she went to the doctor, and his superior physician was there, and he was quite alarmed and said that both mother and daughter needed to go back in the hospital. And Nancy was very alarmed at this because she had not been led to believe that it was a great problem.